right, now, after we have the graph, all right, so now we head on to part C. And for part C, we're saying, oh yeah, so what is the maximum height of the baseball? What's the time when it reaches the maximum height, and how far is Kevin from in horizontal direction? So basically, what we are trying to find out is, hey guys, where's this point right here? Can you find out what this point is in terms of the x and y? And I should also label the y and the x on the axes. So can you go find out that point? And we say, sure, let's go ahead and find out what that is. So naturally, now this is the part you want to pay attention here. Naturally, you would go to menu, you would go to analyze graph, and you would say, all right, I want to find the maximum. So you would choose the maximum, naturally. And then it says, hey, which graph do you want to analyze to find the maximum? So I was like tapping on my screen, I was tapping on my calculator, and it is unresponsive. And I was like, what is going on? I'm trying to find the maximum. Well, it turns out that with a parametric equation, now I'm also testing my TI-84, the older one. There are only a couple options. Out of the four options, there's only one that would fit me to find out the maximum, which is finding the value of t. And I was like, well, that's exactly what I'm trying to find. How can I find out the t value if you ask me to find a t value? So that means finding the maximum will not help you to find the maximum here. What do? Well, we are going to use a very, very, very raw tool just to trace. All right, so on your menu, so you select trace, and then you do graph trace. Okay, so menu, and then trace, and then you do graph trace, and you move your arrow of the mouse pad, and then you just go closer and closer to the maximum. Now you can observe the y value to see where it is at. So it seems like the maximum, it's around here. Now this is how you can make your reading a lot better. So go to menu again, go to trace. Now you can adjust your trace step. So by default, it's automatic, which is 0.1. So I would say, well, I want to do better than 0.1. I want to do 0.01. So I want to find out, hey, where is it at? And if you want to go more, if you want to be more aggressive, you can do 0.005 if you want to do that. But I don't think the calculator is going to show you. So what you can find out is that the maximum height, it's right around 1.47, 1.48-ish. So the maximum height is going to be 36.6. So I'm going to say at time equals to 1.46 or anywhere near that. So I'll write down time, it's equal to 1.46. The coordinate is 208, 36.6. Sorry. 208, 36.6. Yes. All right. So it's right here. You go to menu again. You go to trace, and you select the third option, trace step, and then you will be able to adjust your step size. So you're telling the calculator every single step, whenever I press the arrow key, how much would I move? That's a step size. Okay. So because of the technical limitation, we are not going to be able to find out the actual maximum, but anywhere close to that, we'll take it. We'll take the closer one. Okay. So so we would say, oh yeah, what's the maximum height? The maximum height would be the y value, 36.6 feet. What time? Well, time it's going to be at 1.46 seconds. And then how far is it from the original position? Then we say x is equal to 208 feet. Okay. So so you can use your calculator to approximate it. Just do yeah, if you can do the 100th of a place for the time, then I would take that as a good approximate. And then we say, oh, so when would it hit the ground for part D? When would it hit the ground? And how far is it from the original position? So basically, we're asking for this point right here. All right. What is this point? T is equal to what? And what is the coordinate? What is the coordinate at this point? So we go back to the calculator and we say, all right, let's go ahead and trace again. Now, if you set your trace step size to be a very small one, what you can do is to adjust it back to 0.1 so that you can take a bigger step and get closer to the x-intercept. And then you readjust your step size. And we say, all right, let's see if I can get anything better than this. Right. So at about 2.96, okay? So at about 2.96 seconds, I got 422 and 0.018. So that is the closest I can get. And we'll take that as the time that it's going to hit the ground, okay? It won't be too far off. So time will be 2.96 seconds. And how far is it? Well, x is going to be equal to 422 feet. So I would say what I want to make sure here is that you know how to use the trace option to find out, to estimate the highest point and the point, the x-intercept, okay? How you change the step size so that it's more accurate. And anything, again, anything that's close to the target value will be accepted. Yes, okay? Like if you give me something like, well, Mr. Chan, would you take points off if I write down 2.95 instead of 2.96? I would say I would still take it. It's close enough. If you say 3.95, I would say, well, that's too much. Okay, 2.95 means you can still know how to tell it. All right, so that's part D.